Hello, dear Cancer. I'm Jamie Dawn, your revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your November 2021 horoscope. And your theme for the month of November is your fifth house, which is all about pleasure, where you take risk, creativity, children, love affairs, sex. It's exciting. And it's also your sixth house, which is about your daily routine, self-improvement, health, ritual, the things in your life that you are setting as habits for yourself. So let's kick off the month of November for you with Scorpio in that fifth house. So we're in Scorpio season, which is deep and penetrating. It also has a tendency to want to form really strong emotional bonds because there's a sense of safety and security, which builds trust and intimacy. And when you're looking at this from your fifth house, it makes a natural trine to your first, which is where I place the sun or the sign of Cancer. So if you have your sun, moon, or rising sign on that first house, we've got this natural trine happening with that fifth and first house. And so this allows you to harmoniously, easily just flow to be this really show up as a deep and really committed person that says, you know what, I want to express myself in a very meaningful way. And I want to do it in a way that allows people to feel that they can trust me. And I also need to really learn how to trust myself. And it may be that you find your greatest creative expression, especially in the month of November, with subject matters that are a little taboo. Maybe there's some, psychological interest involved, or maybe you have children that you are wanting to, and children doesn't just mean physical children. It could be your ideas, right? It's how you parent your creativity. And so your creativity could be expressed through that Scorpio energy, which really loves to understand why do we do what we do, and then doing it in a way that is also very inviting, really. I mean, if anybody has a strong Scorpio energy to them, you understand how seductive that can be. And so you may find that you even work in the, let's say, the sex industry, or you are doing something that allows you to be able to create intimacy for yourself and others. But it's mostly about yourself. Think of fifth house almost like the teenager who says, now I have a personality, I kind of understand who I am outside of the family, and I'm ready to express it. And then we have a new moon on the 4th, and this is going to be affecting your 5th, 8th, 11th, and 2nd houses. And this is going to create a natural, or not a natural, but it is going to create a grand fixed square. So we have an opposition to Uranus and a square to Saturn happening. And so there could be some tension and energy that you're feeling more internally on this new moon about how you show up and how your ideas and the creative expression you have. Maybe there's a love affair that you are wanting or maybe experiencing, and you're wanting to do it a little differently. That's that Uranus opposition. Maybe you're attracted to somebody or something that's a bit unusual in the way in which you express it, and you're wanting to do it in your own unique way, but there's a restriction or there's a discipline that you also have to adhere to, because with this square happening right now, is that you're looking at it from I need to master this before I can actually express it. Or maybe you're bumping up against some authority figures that don't quite understand why you've chosen what you've chosen or how you're doing what you're doing. And so on a new moon, we're often setting new intentions. So it may be that you are ready to start something new with maybe a love affair, or with the way in which you express yourself through financial income, that sort of thing, that's a little unusual. And you may bump up against some people who just don't agree with you. And so you're going to have to learn and really allow yourself to stand in your own truth and your own power around it. There's also an opportunity here at this new moon where it does have a bit of a make or break energy. So if there is something you have felt stuck or in between, that you can find clarity, you can make a major decision. Now's a great time to make major decisions, and you can find new opportunities to be the best version of you. Remember, there's this trine happening with the 5th and 1st. The 1st is how you appear to others. How do you want others to see you? And so you're working really hard on showing up as your most authentic self. Now we have Venus moving into Capricorn the day after this new moon, activating your seventh house. And Venus in Capricorn takes work, it takes relationship very seriously. Also, Venus is attracted to those who are a little bit more mature, those who seem to have their shit together, and it is opposing your first house. So there's that tendency that you most likely will want to or be attracted to somebody who's ready to take relationship or partnership very seriously, whether it's personal or professional. And so it's making a natural sextile to this fifth house. And then that fifth house trining your first house. I would venture to say that November should have some really wonderful opportunities for you to deepen relationships of all kinds, particularly romantic, particularly dating. If you are in a casual relationship and you want to take it to the next level, Venus in Capricorn is going to allow you to talk a little bit more seriously about what is it that you want in a relationship. Do we line up with our values? Are we really good together? If you've been waiting on this person to declare their love to you or to go into a deeper commitment, this is a beautiful time for that to happen. Now, there is a couple of you who may experience a separation during this time, or you may have to finalize some things during this time because you're having there, like I say, that in-between space has been there. And so you have to let go of something in order to bring something new in so that you can further commit to a particular relationship. Now, Mercury enters Scorpio on November 6th, and that further activates that fifth house. Most likely, you're going to have someone revealing some information to you, or maybe you have to reveal some information to someone else. There's also an indication here where some investigation or some sort of opportunity to learn about something maybe unusual or taboo, or something that is hidden. It could come out, secrets can come out during this time. But it also can offer where you're interacting with others, in particular, others that bring you great pleasure, because fifth house is the pleasure house, that you will find joy in exchanging of this information. And it also, because you are going into the depths, the real intimacy. And remember, conversation and words can be just as intimate as physical intimacy. And so here with Mercury, the people that you're interacting with, the conversations you're having, they may create deeper trust because you're able to be vulnerable. And you can invite others to be vulnerable by allowing yourself to do the same, which is not easy for Cancer. That's why you have that crab shell, right? It's like, I'm going to protect myself so that I don't get hurt. And when we have all this Scorpio energy, especially activating that fifth house of creative expression, you may find yourself really allowing the armor to drop and letting others into your rich inner world. And that actually can create more opportunity for connection and deeper intimacy. The other thing with all this Scorpio energy, trust your intuition. You're already intuitive, but you add another layer of energy here of this watery, psychic Scorpio, and then you'll start seeing that if you can stay quiet, listen deeply, that the universe will continue to download information to you that's useful, and that can help you discover and uncover things that you need to be the better version of yourself. Mars and Mercury in Scorpio will square off with Saturn and the Moon on November 10th. I bring this up because it's in your fifth and eighth houses active. And what this can do is it creates a little bit of tension between you and maybe an authority figure, is particularly a female. With the Saturn and Moon canoodle here, that it could be where you just have a meeting of the minds and you're exchanging these opinions, and maybe it creates tension in a way that could cause some depression or some heaviness for you. But if you're willing to stay with it and really master the way in which you communicate, instead of being forceful, it could be that you get on the same page. You're determined and driven to be able to say, look, I want us to stay in alignment. How do we do this? And it may be that you have to yield a little bit, which is not always easy, because I know Cancer, you like to attach yourself to something, especially with Mars and Mercury here. It could be an idea that you have, and maybe you're forced to let it go. Because if you can keep the bigger picture in mind and allow the ego, the personal agenda, to take a back seat, then you can find a win-win situation here, and one that can really allow you to move forward in your life in a really positive way. Now we're dealing with 8th house issues with Saturn and the moon here, and it could be that there's something going on with, death, taxes, that sort of thing, but it's transformative. Whatever you experience during this time could transform you for the better, because I really believe that the universe has our back. And trust that, because here we have also the sun squaring off with Jupiter on November 15th, setting us up for a partial lunar eclipse in Taurus on the 19th. And Jupiter becomes the highlight for that lunar eclipse. And this further emphasizes your 5th house. So for the week of November 15th through the 19th, into even towards the end of the month. But remember, eclipses have a tendency to be finalized. So whatever decisions, whatever things are being stirred up during this time, you will make a final decision about this is what's going to happen or this isn't. You're going to let something go because we're dealing with a full moon here on this lunar eclipse, and you're going to welcome something new into your life. And most likely, this is going to be something that allows you to expand, to feel hopeful, because Jupiter is involved. Yes, there's a square with the sun. However, with Jupiter here, I sense that what it can do is it will allow you to roll up your sleeves, work really hard to get to the bottom of things, and then be able to stand and say, this is what I need, this is what I want, and this is who I am. Not apologizing for it, and I can step into a role that allows me to build more trust and more intimacy with those that I care deeply for. Now, on this eclipse, I will offer, because we're dealing with 5th house, you may let go of a particular relationship, that a love affair, let's put it that way, not necessarily a marriage relationship, but a love affair or something that no longer serves you in the creative world. So with this being in opposition to the 11th house, it could be dealing with groups or friendships. Now, the gift of this may be that you feel like you've been in this holding place. Let's say you've dated somebody for a while and you're not sure where it's going, or you're not sure what the quote unquote status is. It's sort of been this like, we're friends, we have benefits, but we're more than that. This eclipse could bring some great clarity for you, where you either say, I want to be more than just friends. I want something deeper and more meaningful with all that Scorpio energy. And if not, I'm going to let it go so that I can move forward into a relationship. Because remember, Venus is in Capricorn in that 7th house, taking relationships seriously. You want something more serious. And you may say, I can't keep playing. I have to have something that shows me there's a future that we're building together, and that it's something that we're building on our values, and we really build trust and intimacy. Mercury and the sun enter Sagittarius. Sun enters Sagittarius on the 22nd, activating your 6th house. Mercury entering Sagittarius on the 24th, further activating that 6th house. So once you've decided what it is you need in your life to be your creative self, to really individualize in a way that says, I matter, I have great value, and I'm fun, and I'm taking some wonderful risk in the conversations I'm having and who I partner with. Maybe they're a little unusual and not everybody accepts them, but that's okay, that's me. Now with the Sagittarius energy in this 6th house, you're looking to establish some new habits. You're looking to be energized with a little bit of adventure, lightheartedness, something that allows you to expand your daily routines in a way that maybe your footprint expands as well. Now, 6th house is about self-improvement. We haven't quite moved into the social houses yet, but this allows you to say, I know who I am, and now I have figured out who I align with. How do I do this now so that we can show up as a power couple, so that, maybe there's some good habits here that I need to put into place so that I can then show up for a partnership, and I'm ready. Maybe some of you get engaged at this time, and so now you start planning the wedding, and you have all the details, and you have the task list that you have to get done. This also has an indication that some of your work life, even though we're leading into the holidays, some of your work life may get really busy, and you may end up needing to establish some things so that you can check them off of your list and be able to enjoy the holidays and not think about it too much. Also, we have Venus and Mars sextiling each other on November 28th, further emphasizing that 5th and 7th house. This is the cosmic lovers. I would say you are the cosmic favorite when it comes to romance, when it comes to being seen as someone who wants relationship, and that if you, Cancer particularly, have struggled in relationship, this is a great month to put yourself out there, to go on dates, or if you're in a bonded relationship, to deepen the bonds by having real deep conversations, to say, this is what I want, this is what I need in order to be not only the best version of myself, but to be a partner with someone. And if you are in the dating scene, have fun with it, but you're not going to suffer the fool. You're not going to spend time with the surfacey stuff. You're going to want to have something that another person that can say, I'm ready to go as deep as you can go, and I'm going to hold this with you. So I really hope that this helps, Cancer. I look forward to hearing how the month of November shows up. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, and get yourself out there. You are a delicious human being, and you should be enjoying life. Keep that in mind. If you're in that dating scene, enjoy the dating scene. Enjoy getting to know people, and enjoy just the process. All right, you guys, have such a great month. Let me know how it's going. Find me at jamiedawn.com, as this is just a generalized reading. You want something more specific for yourself, come see me. All right, you guys, have a great month.